Armored giants, whether on land, at sea, or in the air, have always inspired awe. Most were impractical designs, dreamed up for hypothetical wars, and only a few ever made it from paper to metal. At times, the imagination of military planners and engineers definitely far outpaced what reality could sustain. War Thunder features several such giants among its tanks, ships, and aircraft, and today we'll take a closer look at the most remarkable among them. Many of these titans emerged in the first half of the 20th century, during the age of unrestrained experimentation and daring ideas. In France, for instance, the shipbuilding company FCM built the Char II-C, a land battleship designed to punch through German defenses. This colossal World War I-era tank was larger than the Maus, around 10 meters long and over 3 meters wide. Weighing 70 tons, it was nearly as heavy as the later German Jagdtiger. But the Char II-C never saw real combat. It appeared just after the First World War, and by the Second, it was already completely obsolete. The Blohm & Voss BV-238 flying boat remains the largest aircraft in War Thunder. Designed as a transport and bomber, it even reached the testing phase before being destroyed in an Allied air raid, an event that ended the program. In the game, the BV-238, with its 40-meter fuselage, isn't exactly agile, but its immense durability makes up for it. For comparison, the German Giant is roughly 4 times the length of a regular Spitfire, and it usually takes about that many to bring one down. War Thunder's largest ships also hail from that same era. Japan's Yamato and Musashi battleships were intended as trump cards against the vast US Navy. Their sheer scale and firepower were nothing less than awe-inspiring. Displacing around 72,000 tons, these titans were protected by thick armor and armed with the largest naval guns the world had seen at the time, the 460mm Type 94s. In theory, a Yamato-class battleship could have outdueled any warship, but in practice, these super battleships proved helpless against aircraft. After World War II, the appetite for mega-tanks and massive aircraft finally faded. Giant machines still existed, but their size became more practical. There are no enormous, fantastical behemoths among modern attack helicopters, yet a few are still quite large, like the American Lockheed AH-56 Cheyenne. With a 20-meter fuselage, it looked almost like a small airplane, and that was quite intentional. Lockheed's engineers aimed to make it as fast as possible for its time, the 1960s, but the project was eventually canceled before it entered service. The Soviet Mi-8, on the other hand, became a true workhorse. This massive 18-meter-long multi-purpose helicopter with a huge main rotor not only successfully entered production, but is still in active service today. Renowned as a well-balanced all-rounder, it has served as a utility transport vehicle, gunship or direct air support platform, reconnaissance vehicle, and rescue aircraft. Modern ground vehicles also sometimes have giants in their ranks. Take the Class 3P, for instance, a wheeled tank larger than even the legendary Char II-C. Despite its size, the Class 3P is more of a land cruiser than a land battleship. Relatively fast, heavily armed, and weighing 41 tons, it's an agile predator perfectly suited for desert terrain. It also boasts solid armor, at least compared to similar vehicles like the Italian Centauro. Then we simply have to mention the largest guns and their ammunition. At sea, the Yamato's 460mm cannons remain unmatched, but on land, there are a few notable contenders. The British FV-4005 self-propelled gun holds the title for having the largest long-barreled tank cannon, a 183mm weapon built to destroy Soviet heavies. Despite its firepower, it was soon rendered obsolete by the rise of missile systems. The Soviet M69 gun, with its astonishing 9-meter barrel, longer than many tanks themselves, takes the lead in terms of sheer length. Another contender is the M55 SPG with a 203mm howitzer. But the undisputed king of large calibers is the Sturmtiger, whose 380mm rocket mortar could wipe almost any target off the map with a single blast. Among aircraft, the Piaggio P108 attack variant stands out for carrying the largest airborne cannon, a 102mm gun that was originally designed to target lightly armored ships. Its shells weighed 13 kilograms each, a staggering payload for an aircraft weapon. While the plane itself was difficult to handle, its armament was undeniably impressive. Modern anti-aircraft systems can also reach incredible sizes. Big systems like Russia's Buk or America's Claws, mounted on off-road vehicles, already take more space than most tanks, armored cars, or SPGs. But some take things even further. For instance, the French SAMP-T, composed of 3 large trucks, forms a 33-meter-long convoy, while the radar of Britain's Sky Sabre, mounted on its tall platform, reaches a height of about 12 meters, roughly 3 times taller than the Maus tank. Using these giants in War Thunder may not always be the most practical choice, but it's certainly one of the most entertaining. In the right conditions, these titans can deliver spectacular results. Few of those ambitious megaprojects ever truly succeeded in real life, but their creation definitely gave engineers invaluable experience. Which armored giants are your favorites? Share your thoughts in the comments down below.